Mike Tomlin has the opportunity to do one of the funniest things ever, dare I say, and really ever. It's just do the funniest thing again, and that's go 9-8. Right? If he loses the game, he'll go 9-8. He'll do exactly what he's always done. He'll go around 9-8, but that means he'll lose and not make the playoffs because the Ravens would take this one. Plays the Ravens on Sunday Night Football. The winner of this game will win the AFC North, will be the 4 seed in the AFC playoffs. On the flip side, with the Baltimore Ravens, still waiting if Lamar Jackson plays. Obviously, there's a lot of talk about John Harbaugh and what happens with him and his future. A lot of talk about Mike Tomlin and his future. I saw a funny not stat, but a funny like narrative. It's like loser of this game has to go coach the New York Giants.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah,
honestly, I could totally see a world where that happens. Take me through your thoughts on this game, the Ravens and the Steelers.
Well, the first thought I have is, could Mike Tomlin take the Giants to 9-8? I don't know. It just feels like inevitable at this point. I actually thought the Ravens, after watching them play New England, because I am such a vibes guy, I thought the vibes were they were giving up on the year. They didn't play Derrick Henry in the final quarter of that game.
Wild.
And then
fireable offense.
I know. And then against the Packers, they were like, oh, yeah, maybe we should play him. And then they basically destroyed the Packers single-handedly.
That was a statement. That was we messed up. This is what we actually meant to do.
And it felt like such coaching malpractice against the Patriots because he was just tearing them apart. And then they were like, oh, yeah, you want to go every other drive? Okay, yeah, you can take this drive off. Game-winning drive, game on the line. No Derrick Henry. I literally was like, okay, they're throwing in the towel. They're ready to be done this season. But no, they have a chance to win it here against the Steelers and against an inevitable, it feels like 9-8 finish for the Steelers. This is a very real chance for the Ravens to come out. And obviously, you mentioned like what's Lamar, even Derrick Henry, I feel like is a bit of a question mark. I'm not saying he's questionable. I'm just saying like what's the status there after what happened with the Patriots. So my initial thoughts are this Ravens team can beat the Steelers and probably will beat the Steelers. I think it depends a lot on Lamar too. But my question then, because my brain is immediately on the Ravens, was this season a disappointment? Because remember when they started and it was what they lose their first one.
They lost that crazy game to the Bills, the first game of the Bills. Season.
Yeah, they started the season after losing to the Chiefs, then 1-3. Yeah. And I was like, oh, they're going to turn it around. They're going to be just fine. Well, here they're sitting at 8-8, and they need to win their final game to make it into the playoffs. This feels like a down year for the Ravens.
They started 1-5. Yeah, I mean, it got even worse, and they played Houston and the Rams, and they got down to 1-5. And Derrick Henry, what he's done over the last couple of games, what you mentioned it. If they could have beat the Patriots, if Derrick Henry was out there, I think that game ends differently.
I agree.
And we're not in this conversation where you win and you're in against the Steelers here. Now, you did lose the Steelers a couple games before that, and that was one of Derrick Henry's worst games of the season. Only had 94 yards, no touchdowns. But in the last 2 games of the season, between the Patriots, when he wasn't in at the end of the game, which is insane, because like I believe his last carry in that football game was for his second touchdown.
It was.
And then you're just like, you know what? Take a break, Derrick. Just chill, bro. Like
that's what I was chill. Like. I was literally like, they're literally not trying.
And then they had 216 yards against the Packers, 4 touchdowns. If you put that together, that's 344 yards and 6 touchdowns over the last 2 games. That's college football numbers you're doing in the NFL.
He's incredible.
Now, we're still waiting and see if TJ Watt will play in this one. Obviously, he's had an injury. There's talks about that. If TJ Watt plays, that helps your run-stopping defense. There's no doubt about that. And, of course, waiting on Lamar Jackson. If Lamar Jackson plays, that's a completely different story compared to if Tyler Huntley is the quarterback against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I still think that this is the Ravens' game to lose. They have all the momentum in the world. Say what you want about Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, he's older. Obviously, this could be his final game we ever see of Aaron Rodgers play football. That's one thing as well.
True.
But also, I'll say this. If Lamar Jackson, we're not sure if he's ready to go. There's talks of like, will he play, will he not play? If Lamar Jackson does not play in this football game, I'm going to say that we never see Lamar Jackson play for the Baltimore Ravens again.
It's not even that hot of a take. I do not hate that take. When you bring up Aaron Rodgers, There was a film breakdown. I'm trying to find who did it because, gosh, he did such a good job. But I think I messaged him on Twitter or not Instagram. He nailed it, and he was breaking down Aaron Rodgers' final throws against the Browns, and it was like, dude's literally kind of mailing it in a little bit. Like he's kind of done. So I think you're right. This could be the final game that we see Aaron Rodgers play. Excuse me. And then when you look at Tyler Huntley, they hung 41 on the Packers. No Micah Parsons, of course, but that's a pretty good Packers team, and they still and 41 points in the NFL, just regardless, is pretty impressive. So I am leaning Ravens in this one, but for kind of weird reasons, right? Like, who would have expected that because of Tyler Huntley and Aaron Rodgers, a quarterback duo? Like that's the reason that we're going with the Ravens, or because of Derrick Henry? What's that look like? And yeah, I like the Ravens in this one, but the Lamar take is a very interesting one. I'd love to hear you lay that one out a little bit more. Where do you think that he could go?
I mean, anywhere. I mean, anybody would take Lamar Jackson.
Right,
I think
right.
there's so many different pieces.
You would think that.
You would. You're right. And who knows? I mean, obviously his longevity is changing. You know, maybe the Jets don't decide to want to take Lamar Jackson because the Justin Fields experience didn't work out for them. I don't know. But I think that there's a lot of places that Lamar Jackson would want to go to. For definitely good possibilities for that. But I will say that, man, I don't know. I don't know where he would go. But I will tell you this.
Dolphins.
If he that's perfect sense. Yes, he would go to the Dolphins. Yes, he would. That makes good sense. But if he doesn't play in this game and they lose, he's done. He won't be in Baltimore Raven again. If they win, different story. He could be in the playoffs. Because look at all the things that are going in the right direction for the Ravens, with the exception of the possibility of Lamar Jackson not playing. Derrick Henry is on a complete tear. You're seeing Zay Flowers finally take a next step forward in the right direction. The offensive lines looked great. The defense has been solid. That defense looks really good over the past couple of weeks. And then on the flip side, you're still waiting on the status of TJ Watt. Aaron Rodgers, you mentioned mailing it in. He's kind of got the Phillip Rivers effect where he's getting older. He's getting washed. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is when it comes to older quarterbacks. And he's not going to have his number one target. We didn't even bring this up. DK Metcalf suspended for this game. He's not playing. I think the Ravens win this football game and they clinch the AFC North.
Give me the Ravens for a ton of actual football reasons and the fact that 9-8 with Mike Tomlin is inevitable.
Ooh. And then 9-8 in the Giants, right?
Dude, I think he could do it. It's the football gods just make it happen. I don't know why that happens every year, but it's fun to watch. How's it going to unfold? Are they going to win 9 in a row and then lose 8, or are they going to kind of inch their way towards it? It's different every
9-8 and the Giants would still be probably good enough for like second in the NFC East these days. Insane. I mean,
true.
And it'd probably be better than the Cowboys.
I think you could probably run out a good 20-year career at 9-8 for the Giants after what they've been through the last 10, 20 years.
Mike Tomlin, I think, is a Hall of Famer, but like imagine his plaque of like over and over again, like 500 records.
It's so good. It's so awesome, man. I love it. A lot of people do not. I think it's awesome.
It's a funny bit. It's a very funny bit. There's no doubt about that.
It's so good.